different little scents or fragrances from bits and pieces of my life. Let's say home run is
a home run when you played baseball?
No, not quite. Home run is about when I played baseball. It's a whole adventurous attitude of being able to take the challenge of walking away and pursuing something that you may not know if you're going to succeed at, but just having an idea to do so.
Then we have Cool.
Cool, which is the North Carolina, the whole fresh scent of North Carolina, where I'm from. Then you have Pebble Beach, which, as you can see, relates a little bit to golf, but yet the green grass and the smell of grass.
You have Sensual.
Sensual, which, as you know, my wife had a little bit to do with, and it's a private side that a lot of people don't tend to associate with.
That's right, we don't think of you that way.
And Rare Air is just...
Rare Air.
Unique, exceptionally, emotionally, just having a fun time.
Now, if I smelled each one of these, they would have each a different fragrance,
sure.
Right? Like Rare Air is, ooh.
Pretty strong.
Pretty strong. Rare Air is strong.
My freedom is very strong.
This is Cool.
Smells like North Carolina.
Kind of cool, yeah. Like Carolina in the morning. Now, this is Sensual.
You love that. Nice and light.
You know me, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's very light.
God, I love you, Michael.
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
That's very nice.
It's not Dennis.
Okay, all right. Okay, Pebble Beach.
Grass. Tell me if it smells like grass.
Ooh.
It's just like grass, isn't it?
It's grass.
Not the grass.
Not the grass.
The good grass.
Grass like they golf on.
Okay.
And
this should
home run.
Smell like leather, like a basketball or a glove.
Yeah. All right, now, but it all goes into one fragrance?
Yes. All goes into
When I buy this, do I get the 5 little ones?
No, this is not. This is only...
This is just to show me how it's made.
Sure.
And that results in this.
Yes.
All right, first, I want to show this. Who picked that shape?
See, that's unique, too. We at Bijan, and I'm saying we because I'm a partnership in this situation, is that we take time in making sure that the packaging and the bottle has a unique style to it all. This is relating to the basketball shoe, which is rubber. And if you look at the bottom, you got a little sole, like a basketball sole.
And the side, the reason
the side
for
with the basketball inside.
Basketball in the middle.
Clear.
And hence the fragrance.
Sure. You love it.
Oh, yeah.
See? You don't know what I do for you, Larry. I'm not kidding. Be careful now. You don't put too much on.
Let me see you put it on.
Sure.
Let's
you want to see how I do it?
How do you do it?
They taught me how to do this. Let's see. That wasn't me.
The wrist?
That's too much.
Rub the 2 hands together. Ooh.
See? But knowing me, I do this.
Okay. What are they pricing this at? Because Bijan is not known as downtown Walmart.
We had a strong conversation about that. I think a lot of times people associate high-end, high price with Michael Jordan. You know, when you think about the basketball shoe, how much it cost, and at the time it was a very expensive shoe. We wanted this to be affordable. I'm pretty sure it's going to be right around 35 bucks and work its way down. I don't think it's going to exceed that. Hopefully not. I mean,
you're doing a cologne and an aftershave?
Well, right now we're just going to start with this soap. Some other...
Underarm?
Yes.
Powder?
No.
Oh, but eventually a full line of
we want to expand, but we don't want to jump out there without really having a solid base. I think that's the most important thing, is get your foot in the door first. And then if you get a good response from the public, then you can expand on it.
Great stuff. And it really is these 5 fragrances put together. This is not like a bit.
No, it's more than that. But that's just the 5 that we pulled out for you can get a good example. It's usually about 100, I think we had 116 accords.
Did you go nuts smelling it all?
I got tired. And then my kids helped me out a little bit. My little kids enjoyed it.
And this breaks in November, right? This is not in stores yet?
Actually, it goes to stores October 27th.
And what kind of stores?
All different. It's going to be a little bit different strategy to this. We want to get in all the department stores, your normal department stores, but yet we're going to extend it a little bit further. Champs, Sportmart, some of the areas that we've done business with through the Air Jordan basketball shoe. And all.
Now, this is probably, in women's and men's, the most difficult field.
It's unisex. Women can use that as well.
Women can use this too?
Sure. We didn't want to regionalize or localize.
So, women with leather and home run and... Yeah, maybe. Smells nice.
That can fall for that.
It is a very...
I'm telling you, it's a great scent.
It really is a nice smell. And
and it's a lot of work. It isn't a product that, I signed a contract with these people they put out the product without me having any involvement. That's one thing I didn't want to happen because it's not really me. I want to be a part of it. And
is there any danger, Michael, as you look at it, and I know David Falk, your super agent, is here, of being over-marketed?
It's always a risk for that. I mean, but I'm in tune with what David is doing, and I dictate in terms of what I want to be involved with, when I want to cut back. I think that's the understanding that I have about myself, my schedule. If my schedule gets to a point where it's too demanding, then I start to cut back. And I want to be in control. A lot of people don't tend to understand that, but I'm in control of a lot of things that happen in my life, and that's very fortunate for me.
Are you a control freak? And I mean that in a good sense.
No, I'm not a control freak. I rationalize a lot. I listen to advice, but when I have to put the foot down, I put the foot down, without a doubt.
We'll be right back with Michael Jordan. We'll be including your phone calls. Michael Jordan also has a major film coming next month in which he co-stars with Bugs Bunny.
Portraying the animated characters, which made it a lot simpler than...
Have you seen the finished product?
No.
Are you curious?
No, I'm very nervous about it, really, because...
Why?
A lot of people have had great responses. They've shown it to survey groups and gotten great responses, and I just want to put myself so high, and then next thing you know, I'll get knocked down because of the expectations of it. But I've kind of kept a low-key expectation because this is something new, and I can't say that I'm good at it, but I enjoy doing it. It was my first venture, and I just wanted to do well, and I don't want to have a high expectation. Next thing you know, my head's banging on the floor.
You are a perfectionist. Would you agree with that?
Sure.
All right. Therefore, did you want to be a very good actor?
I wanted to be good as I could be at that time. I mean, this is the first time I've done something to that magnitude, so I really can't say that I'm a good actor or a great actor. I thought playing myself would be very simple, because I know what I am, I know what type of person I am. But that's the hardest thing people tell me, is to play yourself in a movie. And it was tough, but I think I did okay. If I can't play myself, certainly I can't play nobody else.
Now, when you talked, and Bugs isn't there.
Right.
So you would just talk to nothing.
I was talking to these little guys.
Characters.
Yeah, in green outfits.
And then later, it'll be Bugs when it's on screen. When do you finally get to see it?
It actually comes out November 15th.
We're going to show you a scene as we break, and when we come back, we'll talk with other things with Michael Jordan. He's got everything going for him. And another basketball, would you believe? Practice starts Friday.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
What are you looking at?
Ready?
He wants to see if you still have that burning desire to win again.
Well, I'm pretty sure at this late age in my career, people want to test and see if I can maintain, or I have the enthusiasm to maintain. I agree with him. It'd be tough for us to win 73 games. I don't think that should be our goal. We never set that as a goal last year. I think our ultimate goal is to win a championship. Everything else is gravy up to that point. Myself, I'm looking forward to constantly proving myself, you know, and that's a part of the challenge. That's some of the things I didn't have when I left the game in '93, and now I have something to prove each and every time I step on the basketball court.
What keeps the desire going when you've attained everything there is to attain?
Well, it's just competition of people trying to get to the level that you are or where you were through you, to a certain extent, and that's a part of the challenge. I don't want no one to come out and either take the respect that I've earned over the last 11, 12 years, not through me while I'm playing the game of basketball. If that's the case, then I know it's time for me to walk away.
Many athletes have had difficulty doing that, walking away, and some have stayed 1 year too long. Willie Mays stayed one year too long. Is that a fear?
No, I'm not afraid to. As people have seen, I'm not afraid to walk away when I feel I don't have the challenge or the push. I truly love the game. I always will. But I will know when it's time for me to walk away. In '93, it was time for me to walk away. I never thought I would come back.
I know, we were at your ceremony.
Sure.
We unveiled your statue.
I never thought I was coming back. But here we are, I'm back. But when I leave, next time, I know I'm not coming back.
Do you ever tell yourself that, as Tommy Lasorda told us, had you started baseball when you were 20, you'd have been a Major League Baseball player?
If I would continue it all the way through high school, and when I went to college, I wanted to, and I just got wrapped up into one because I was faced with something that people didn't really feel that I could do, and that was play on a Division I level, basketball-wise. So I had to focus on that and not really concentrate on trying to spread myself too thin.
No one will forget the emotion of this last championship. You on the floor, holding the ball, crying. What was going on?
Well, it was
Why this one?
Because, I mean, I didn't really have the support system that I had over the past, 11 years. I mean, without my father being around, which I always felt was a positive reinforcement to a lot of things that I did. My mother has always been there, and she still is there with the support. But I wanted him to be there because that meant a lot. We've always shared success together as a family, and he was minus. And I felt that was the kind of an empty hole in my heart at the time. And I wanted to pay tribute to him, away from the whole scene of...
So that was missing him and a tribute to him?
Sure, without a doubt.
So therefore, it was your biggest kick?
It was. And looking back, last year and the previous years, last year was probably the biggest year that I had in my career, in a sense that I had something to prove, not just to me, but to my father and to everyone that doubted if I could basically do it again.
What's this $1 million thing you did yesterday at the University of North Carolina?
It was a contribution that the family made, and I made it on behalf of the Jordan family to the...
To the school?
To the school, which is the Jordan Institute of Families, the Jordan Family Institute at the university. And I think it was just to initiate, to bring back some awareness of a family really taking in and learning how to deal with different types of problems in this society. I think with a lot of the problems that are happening, it starts at home to make the right and the sound decisions, and the parents have to be teachers at home instead of relying on the teachers in school to make those decisions. And we want to educate the families to deal with a lot of those problems at home and educate their kids to make the sound decisions whenever they have to.
Our guest is the incredible Michael Jordan. Everything's going, movies, cologne, product endorsements, and of course, the best that ever played his game. And you notice, he's not denying it. He's not saying, oh, no. We'll be right back. We'll include your phone calls. Don't go away. By the way, have you ever asked a good trivia question in a bar somewhere? Ask who was the most famous athlete ever born in Brooklyn? And Michael Jordan's the answer, because he spent 1 month of his life there, right?
9 months, actually.
9 months?
Yes.
Oh, then you're a definite Brooklynite.
No, you got to be there 1 year. I made it up to 9 months.
Okay, but it's in your blood, though.
It's somewhere.
You're Brooklyn. It's probably in the scent somewhere. What's it like, really, to be this average? You're a kid, you come out of school, you go to North Carolina, rigid coach, who you love, Dean Smith.
Sure.
To become inordinately wealthy. Really, what is that like to know no financial need? For playing a game you played as a kid.
Well, first of all, I mean, you have to be very fortunate to play a game that you truly love, and yet you get paid for it, and paid a lot of money.
Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's society. In some ways, society is ridiculous, but I think I would have never anticipated being in this position, when I was 13, 14 years old. I wanted to play baseball. I would have never thought playing basketball and to the magnitude that the people have respected me and reacted to me at this level. It's been very, very surprising, and it's a script that no one can ever write again. Everyone tries to paint another picture for another athlete. This isn't something that we plan. It's something that we kind of stumble upon, and those are the good things. When you don't chase success, somehow it finds you. Yeah. If you chase it, you never find it.
Do you think back a lot to the days when you weren't?
Sure. A lot of my closest buddies and my friends are still the same old friends with the same expectations for me to call them every chance I get.
And you're still just Michael to them, right?
Oh,
I mean, no big deal.
Well, I got a couple of nicknames that I won't say on TV, but I'm still their best friend.
Now, what's it like having everything of a financial end? What does that make you? Are you a happier person?
No, I would be just as happy if I wasn't able to obtain all those things. I don't think it gives you happiness. I think it gives you an opportunity to make other people happy. If you want to buy a present for for a friend or even for your wife or whatever, but you're happy just being able and having the freedom to make a choice and making a choice that makes you happy. That's the wealth that I think I have. It's not financial.
What do you worry about?
What do I worry about? I worry about making sure that I present the type of person that Michael Jordan's all about. A free-going, loving person, enjoying himself at all times. And yeah, I've been given a role as a role model. It's been bestowed upon me. I didn't really ask for it, but I've accepted it. And you want to do what's right. And you want to generalize every comment so that someone can pick some positive things from it so they can influence their lives. But you have to be very understanding that you're not going to be there day to day to these kids who you want to influence to see the different moods. And I think that makes it tough being a role model because
you got to be on all of it.
You got to be there every day. You got to be there every day to make that.
Do you think you have that obligation, though, to be something special for them?
I have that obligation because I've accepted it. It wasn't something that I asked for. You know, people bestowed that upon me, and I accepted it graciously. I'm not saying that I denied it or I don't want it. I think the admiration of other people is a great tribute to have. I mean, sometimes it's a tribute that's not worth money. You know, it's just worth the admiration. But it's a heavy responsibility, and everything's magnified 10 times, 100 times a normal person, as you may know, and that's an unbelievable pressure that you have to deal with.
Does the game truly come easily to you? You make it appear that way.
I understand the game. I understand the dedication that you got to have for the game. Yeah, it should, to the entertainer or the people that are watching, it looks simple, but there's a lot of work put into this. And it's a lot of work continually, each and every time, to get myself to a level to perform the way I want to perform so that everyone's going to be happy, whoever's watching.
Are there times where in your heart you haven't played well and I in the stands wouldn't know it?
Sure. There's been times like that, and that's good. And the best way to cover that up is to win.
Because win when you're bad. Or
sure, if you win when you're bad, no one knows.
Let's take some calls from Michael Jordan, Cucamonga, California. Hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. King and Mr. Jordan.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I have a question for you, Mr. Jordan. How can you persuade a young man to use cologne when they don't think it's the man's thing to do?
Good question.
Well, that is a good question. I think there's something that starts at home. I think hygiene is something that basically you're taught from your parents, and at some point in time, cologne is going to be a part of that hygiene, you know. And me as an influence, I can only do it, as I said, from a far distance general sense. But at home, that's where the parent or the mother...
It's a clean feeling.
Sure.
What age do you recommend it, by the way? When should a boy start?
I would say at least when he's a teenager, you know, so he understands hygiene and you know, my father taught me and my mother taught me that a lot of times you're perceived to be your personality is seen by the way you're dressed and sometimes the way that you smell. And as you become a teenager and you start interacting with grown-ups and adults, I think your perception of the way that you appear sometimes can dictate the type of personality you have.
Before we take the next call, something must be asked. One of the things amazing about you is that most people who lose a close relative to the action of someone else, we see Peggy, we see Class's father, Ron Goldman's father.
Sure.
They get wrapped up in the trial. They go to the trial. They go on television. We haven't heard that from you. Why?
Well, I'm not saying, I don't want to question why they have not.
I don't want to criticize them,
right,
but you haven't.
I've always been at peace with my father, and I'm not saying these people were not at peace with their relative that died, but I think I looked at the positive side of things. You know, my father was with me for 31 years of my life, and there's a lot of kids out there who've never had their fathers that long. I've tried to take that negative and turn it into a positive, saying, hey, he's educated me to the point where I'm 31 years old and I can make sound decisions for myself. And instill that in my kids and move forward.
And no hatred for the people who perpetrated it?
No, because I think they should be punished just because of the judicial system and where our society stands. But for me to have anger and frustration continuously for the rest of my life because of what one individual has taken away from me really doesn't give me an opportunity to live my life for my kids who have to follow my footsteps. So I let that go. I went through my period of sorrow and kind of dealt with the situation. Anger, I was angry about it, but no matter what you do to these individuals, you know...
You ain't gonna bring them back.
Ain't gonna bring them back. You know, and I can accept that, and I can understand that, and I just hope that, you know, in some ways we can learn from it.
We'll be back with more of the incredible Michael Jordan on Larry King Live. We're back with Michael Jordan. Let's take another call from Chicago. Hello.
Hi, Mr. King and Mr. Jordan.
Hello, how you doing?
Okay. I have a 4-year-old son and a 30-year-old husband who really idolize you. That must put a tremendous amount of pressure on you. How do you deal with all the pressure and speculation that goes along with that role?
Idolatry. How do you deal with it?
In terms of the responsibility?
Just dealing with it. I mean, she's got a 30-year-old husband, a 4-year-old son. They worship you.
Well, my job truly is to entertain them when they're watching a game of basketball. And I want to do that. You know, I want them to have a 2-hour break from their normal life so they can entertain themselves.
You're aware you're an entertainer?
Sure,
then?
I realize that, and but to some degree of educating them. I mean, I have my life, and certainly I live my life in some ways different than most people, and you have to understand that and utilize whatever bits and pieces of my life that can enhance your life. But I wouldn't say all my life is pretty much set for, you know, people to follow.
You don't live for other people.
No.
You do normal things, though. I mean, you go to your restaurant at night, you go out, you
Sure.
are public, right?
Sure,
You don't hide.
Do that. I don't hide. I don't want to isolate myself. I think when you isolate, you create so much mystery about yourself. And you know, I interact. I like people coming up and talking. Even with the autographs thing, I rather, instead of signing an autograph, I rather shake someone's hand or talk to them, because I think you can get a little bit more about that person and from that person than
I think they feel from an autograph, though, you leave something with them. Yeah.
I understand.
By the way, every prime star on the Bulls, including the coach, has a one-year contract, right?
Well, at least when you're
Except,
talking about
I guess,
except for
Dennis,
Pippen.
right? I guess Pippen.
Pippen.
So does this mean that's it? 1 year more for all of you? Or for, well, speak for yourself.
No, actually, the reason for my one-year contract is that I feel that I want to take each thing year by year. And with Phil signing to a one-year contract, good. That gives me an opportunity to sign for one year contract.
That's your coach. He has a one.
And then, you know, if we sign again for next year, great. You know, I want that to happen. I would love to kind of build over a period of time, or at least another couple of years, to be playing in Chicago. I don't anticipate playing anywhere else, but I like to remain in Chicago. And I want to give the team an opportunity after each and every year. If they want to choose a direction in terms of which way they want to go, they don't have to worry about me. They have to worry about what
Would you ever play for someone else?
No, I don't think I will.
Never.
No, I'll never say never. I already said that.
But you're a Bull.
Yeah, I want to be a Bull for the rest of my career.
Like DiMaggio was a Yankee, Music was a Cardinal, Williams was a Red Sox.
You've earned that respect in Chicago, and to some degree, I would never want to break any ties by leaving Chicago.
You could have been in Portland. Right? Didn't they draft ahead of you?
Flip of the coin.
Flip of the coin.
Sure.
Dallas, Texas, for Michael Jordan. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hi, Mr. King and Michael.
Hi, what's the question?
My question is to Michael. You just said that you're a role model and that was given to you whether you asked for it or not. How do you feel about professional athletes such as the baseball player who spit on the umpire, when children look at that and they're let down? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think I mentioned that earlier in the show. I don't think that should have happened, and certainly he should be penalized. And we all, as athletes, just like normal people in everyday lives, have moods of frustration and maybe anger. And we, because of the focus that's on us, have to vent those in ways that, you will not magnify the situation. And I think that was a bad choice for Roberto, and I think we all understand that, and I think he should be penalized.
What do you think it does to a kid, though?
I think the kid looks at it as a sad, and I'm pretty sure the parents should be there
when they watch the scene.
Sure, to explain it to him that this is some things that you shouldn't do, and he should be penalized, and this is what happens when you do something like that, because you're going to get penalized.
But there are little normal things you can't. For example, if you get cut off in traffic, you can't jump out of your car and scream.
No.
Like Joe the salesman can, right?
No, yeah, right.
So you have to watch your vent.
Exactly right. I mean, you can sit there and yell all you want to in the car and call them all kinds of names or whatever.
But you can't act like a jerk with people around.
And if you do that, let's say if you get out and you yell, or maybe you hit the guy. Any normal guy could jump out and do that, but if you hit him,
goodbye.
It's a lawsuit. You pretty much settle that out of court.
We'll be. You almost have to in that.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll be back with more of Michael Jordan. If it's out there, he's involved. Don't go away. Let's repeat.
We have a chance. Yeah, I think.
Good chance.
Sure. Good chance.
Tough?
As long as we stay healthy, that's the most important thing.
Who you worry about?
So a lot of teams you can be worried about. New York, which has changed their team, their face look. Orlando's going to be a sneaky team. Don't sleep on Orlando.
Even though Shaq is gone.
Even though Shaq, they played well without Shaq last year. L.A. with Shaq can be a team to be dealt with. Houston with Barkley and Elijah. Who are you going to double team? See, that's the decision that the coaches got to worry about. And Seattle. Seattle's certainly going to be a little bit more confident this year.
What do you think of Sean Kemp not showing?
Well, I mean, everybody tries to make a statement in whatever fashion, and I think he's trying to make a statement, but I think he'll show up.
How about my Bullets?
Bullets, I forgot about them. Young talent. Could put everything together. I love Juwan Howard.
You wanted him to come to Chicago, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Come on,
if he
you
could
did.
fit in, I would love to.
He was your guest at the playoffs, was he?
You know, he worked out with me all summer, you know, last year, the year that, I mean, last 18 months, and such a great guy, class act, and I wish him well. You know, although I keep telling him, we're going to kick their butts when we come back.
Washington was lucky to get him back, though, and losing him.
Very fortunate, very fortunate.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky, hello.
Hello, Michael. I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure.
What is your personal feelings about the kids coming straight out of high school, passing up college to go straight into the professional league?
High school to the NBA.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough scenario.
All right, let's say your son. Let's say you have a son. He's a great ball player.
Sure.
He's 18. He's all-world high school.
I probably wouldn't let him do it because I think...
Wouldn't?
I wouldn't let him do it because I've experienced the professional ranks, and I know a lot of the pressures and some of the traveling problems that you may have at a young age. I mean, this kid in L.A., who I really think is going to be a good player, but I think a lot of things he's going to have to deal with. His father, who used to play in the pros, are going to pretty much educate him.
But he's still going to be 18 years old.
Sure, he's going to be 18.
Where
Where can he go and have a good time? He can't go with the rest of the team because the team is either going to go into a club or somewhere where he can't go. He can't drink legally. Anyway, he can sit in his room and play video games, but sooner or later, that's going to get tiresome. He's going to want to do the things. And he's going to be exposed to so much negative things. Not a lot. I'm saying that the NBA is not a bad organization, but sure, we have problems and we have situations that you have to use your knowledge of making the right and sound decisions to avoid away from some of those problems that could occur. But I would love to see kids go to college, get a good experience of playing on a higher level, and to see where they stand. Then maybe taking that chance.
Nothing against coming out hardship, though, right?
No, I have.
2-3 years?
No, I don't have a problem with that. I think as long as you feel you reach the level that you're ready for the pros, and you make sure you go back and get your education.
Go back.
That's the first reason you go to college.
Wilmington, North Carolina, hello.
That's home.
Hey, Michael Jordan.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 10.
10. What's your question?
I wanted to ask Michael Jordan, was it hard getting into the NBA?
Yeah, your first year.
When I got older, I'd like to get into the women's NBA.
She wants to be a lady pro.
The women's NBA. It was hard. It was a long road. I think I put forth a lot of effort, a lot of work. I got lucky. You know, I stayed healthy. I got to a college that I got great education about the game, about life, about academics. And then when it came to a point for me to make the best sound decision for myself with the advice of my parents, I made it. And to some degree, that was a long road and it went against a lot of challenges.
Luck, too, right team.
Sure.
Right?
The right situation. I came out in '84, right after the Olympics, with the highest exposure that you could get. Olympics being here in L.A., flip of the coin. I'm not in Portland. I'm in a major market.
In the United States, yeah.
I mean, a lot of things worked in my favor.
We're back with our remaining moments with Michael Jordan. The movie's coming, the perfume is coming, the cologne is coming, the basketball is coming, everything. The Air Jordan, the sneakers.
Championship is coming, and all that.
And he's considering buying Time Warner, too. We'll be right back. We're back with our remaining moments with Michael Jordan. Practice starts Friday. Seems like it just ended. Quick call, Hartsville, South Carolina. Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Larry.
Hi.
Question, from high school all the way to the pros, what championship do you cherish the most?
Good question.
Great question.
Favorite championship?
It'd have to be last year.
Over the NCAA?
Yes. I mean, even though I feel that the NCAA championship propelled my career, I think last year gave me an opportunity to revisit a lot of those steps and finally end up with the championship because of a lot of things that happened in the course of that year, personally.
How old are you now?
33.
33.
Sure.
Do you worry about injury?
No. I prepare myself.
That's an older body.
Knock on wood now. Hold on. Don't be talking about it.
That's an older body, though, as sport goes, right?
Yeah, but I think people are starting to forget. I took 2 years away from the game. So
but
really,
you played another game.
Right, but in being 33 and missing 2 years, so
you're
actually
31 to yourself.
I'm 31 to myself.
And
I missed the second year too with a broken foot, so I haven't really played. But what, 8 years of the 11 years that I played?
What's special about Chicago?
The people are so supportive. You know, I've been there when the teams were really low, and they were still supportive, and then they came out. I'm glad that I can make them happy in the job that I do on the basketball court. I respect them. They respect me, and I appreciate it.
Do you like or tolerate Dennis Rodman?
I like Dennis. I really, truly do. I think Dennis has a great personality. I think some things he does to vent some of the, either the expressions or some of the things within himself. He's a very shy individual. I think people don't really take that to understand, but he vents his decisions or some of his emotions in different ways, and I truly understand that.
He is different.
I admit that he is different, but he's a true leader on the basketball court with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of dedication to winning. I was really surprised with the way that he came in with the work attitude and really became one of the leaders on our basketball team.
Michael, we got about less than a minute. Any goal left?
To consistently win and be successful, and I want to watch my kids be successful, hopefully.
You want any more kids?
No.
Enough is in
No.
I want to panic you.
Yeah, no, don't panic. Thank you, sir.
Michael.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you. Michael Jordan, only the best. Thanks for joining us, for Michael Jordan and the whole crowd in New York. Good night.
Well, an area of low pressure that had pretty much been parked over the northern Mediterranean